Good afternoon and welcome to Chris 180's Lunchtime Live series. I'm Chandra Luckett, Chief Marketing Officer here, and we have changed up our normal location to broadcast live from one of Chris 180's homes in East Atlanta for children and families. Today, as you can see, the yoga mat is on the floor and we are ready to stretch away all of the stress. Think about all the things that we have been through in the past year and a half. There are so many times when a little breathing exercises or meditation or even yoga would have helped us. But today you are going to get all of the tips you need to know to find mindfulness in your life. I'm excited that my colleague Spencer Mack has joined us today. Spencer is a life coach in one of our programs for young adults, and he is also a certified yoga instructor. He is going to be bringing us a live session today, so get ready, get on the floor, and take your shoes off, and get ready for a wonderful session. Spencer, take it away.
Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. I'm so happy to be able to bring you this wonderful Lunchtime Live. We're going to focus on prana, which is your breath, and asanas, which are your yoga poses. I would like to welcome a dear friend and coworker, Jessica, who's going to help me out today. Hi, Jessica.
Hello.
So first, I would like for us to focus on prana, and that is our breath. Our breath connection is of great importance, not just when it comes to our asanas and our flow in yoga, but in day-to-day life as well. Focusing on your breath and the importance of your inhales and your exhales can help you in everything that you could possibly think of, especially when it comes to work. So you can stand and meditate, which most people would probably be like, that's a little uncomfortable and a little awkward. That's great, because we're actually going to sit down today. So we're going to take a seat here on the mat. And an easy pose. So I want to make that very clear to everyone, because we want to make sure that we are being sensitive to all people. This is not what is called Indian style. So for everyone who's watching right now, an opportunity to listen and learn, this is easy pose. So in day-to-day life, when you think of crossing your legs, it's easy, And if for any reason it's not, that'll be another class. So right now we're going to focus on our prana. So if you're able to, if you're in a seated position, maybe in a chair, if you're able to get down on the floor with us, by all means, join in. So I'm going to go around and do some adjusting. So one of the important parts to meditation is focusing on making sure that, this is more so when you're seated, not really when you're lying down. In a seated position, oftentimes we do things like, if you could slouch for me really quick, Jessica. Yeah, that comes naturally to us. So some of the things that can keep you focused, because when we meditate, there are a lot of things that can kind of take us out of our realm of where we are as far as our thought and being able to go as deep as possible. So these are some little tips that you can use to keep you as centered as possible. So first, you want to pay attention to elongating your spine. Keeping yourself here is going to constantly be in your head. Have to keep my spine long, have to keep my spine long. So while you're focusing on that, the noise and the chatter that's going around, not only around you, but also in your mind, kind of simmer down a little bit because you're so focused on this. That's one. The next, your prana. So you begin to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. You're focusing on keeping your spine long and your inhales and your exhales. These are two things that keep you focused. That way, you can stay centered. Okay, now one thing I want to do really quick is to show you the difference between inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Okay, so really quick for me, Jessica, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. There's power in exhaling through your mouth, especially if you're somebody that in the work that you do can cause a lot of stress. I implore you to begin to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. The wider you open your mouth, the better. Do it along with me. We inhale. Through the mouth, we exhale. Ask yourself, how does that feel? How does it make you feel? In one of your most stressful moments, say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to pause. I'm going to center myself and just take an inhale and an exhale and just see how it makes me feel. So you're focused on your breath. You're focused on keeping that spine long. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. Your eyes are closed, your spine is long, you're inhaling and you're exhaling. So here we go, spine long, we inhale deep and exhale out. Beautiful. While you're doing this, isn't the last thing that I'm going to do before we begin our flow. I teach a lot of visualization through meditation. So visualization is one of the best parts to keeping you as centered as possible when you're meditating. So once your spine is long, your eyes are closed, and you're focusing on your breath, imagine a space. What I usually teach my students are called safe spaces. A space that you can go into where you can allow yourself to feel all the range of emotions possible. Anger, happiness, joy, sorrow. When you go into this place, it could be a place from your childhood, maybe a vacation spot that you love going to, something that brings you joy and helps you to feel safe. Create that space. And once you create that space, allow yourself to go inward and begin the work. So that's a little bit as far as meditation. Right now, time to flow. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you all to something that is called Surya Namaskar. Those are your sun salutations. And if you all really enjoy this process, come back again and I'll teach you about moon salutations, which are called Chandra Namaskar. So let's get started. You can come to a standing position, Jessica, on the back of the mat. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to bring our feet about shoulder width apart from each other, keeping your toes facing forward. Beautiful. So when I teach yoga, everything for me is about grace. There's no stiffness. Everything is water. It's like a dance. So we're going to have our palms open in what is called Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to cross our arms. We're going to inhale high to the sun. Beautiful form. Palms touch. Exhale, flat back all the way down. Bringing your body till your palms touch the mat. Nice. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things to teach all of my students. This is one of the importance of focusing on your breath at all times. So you get students all the time that say, I can't touch my toes. It's difficult. This is where I am. That's all that it's going to be. Here's a fun challenge. So your inhales and your exhales can do a lot, especially when it comes to your asanas. So I'm going to show you right now. We see where Jessica is with her palms. We're going to have Jessica inhale deeply for me. And exhale, bring your palms down a little further. There you go. Just like that, she goes from being somewhere near her ankles to her fingertips are touching the mat. Want to continue to have a little bit more fun? Here we go. Inhale deep. Exhale one more time. And just like that, her palms are almost to the mat. I'm telling you, things are not as difficult as we think they are. And that can go across a long range of places in life. But definitely when it comes to the importance and power of your breath. This is why your inhales and your exhales are so important. So we're going to inhale and you're going to bring your palms to your shins. Okay, this is called Ardha Uttanasana. This is your halfway bend. Okay, exhale out of your Ardha Uttanasana, touching the mat once more. Beautiful Uttanasana. We cross our arms with grace, and we inhale all the way up. Beautiful, palms touch, and hands to heart center. Nice, great job.
So Spencer, we have a question.
Absolutely.
People want to know, how do you get started doing yoga if they feel out of shape?
Wow, there are so many different ways to be able to get into yoga. First of all, you can go online and you can watch videos. Now, I think that that's a great introduction, but you should always go further than that. The reason why I believe that that should just be a jump off point is because I've had students come to me and they've spent months focusing solely online, and they come to me with aches and pains, things that they've experienced because of their own solo practice from looking online. You should always attempt to get yourself an actual coach, because when you have a teacher, an instructor, a coach that is able to guide you, they can adjust you properly and let you know what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. So that's where I believe that you should always start, is by going online and seeing exactly what it is that yoga is. Educating yourself more, because more often than not, people believe that yoga is just your asanas, meaning your poses. Yoga is far more than that. Meditation itself is a part of yoga. So educate yourself first on what yoga and the actual existence of yoga is. Once you educate yourself, then say, cool, there are certain poses that I'm really interested in, but there's a possibility that if I go beyond something as simple as easy pose, I may hurt myself. Let's find out how I can go online and find an instructor. Trust me, especially for those of us who are here in Georgia, we are teeming with yoga instructors. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country or in the world. Simply hopping on social media will get you a yoga coach that quickly. So just those two things can begin your journey. Thank you so much for asking the question. Okay, so now we're going to bring ourselves down into down dog. So we pretty much come back to where we were before. With grace, we cross our arms, we inhale all the way up, palms touch, beautiful, and float all the way down. Walking ourselves into our down dog. Now, down dog is what most people consider to be one of the easiest poses possible. So you're going to curl your toes under. Right now, Jessica is in tabletop. So curl your toes under for me and push yourself all the way up, push up off your knees. Beautiful, down dog. So this is what is considered to be like the default pose. Most people don't know all of the names for the yoga poses, but when you mention down dog, everyone knows what down dog is. So in downward dog, this is beautiful form from Jessica right here. So one of the things you want to do is focus on getting your heels now. She's showing off. Jessica's able to get her heels down to the mat. I can't even get my heels down that far. However, that's one of the things you want to focus on. Let's say that your heels are a little bit more off of the mat. Through your inhales, you inhale deep. Exhale, push your heels down even further. Those inhales and exhales. Another thing you want to do is what I call nose to toes. And when you're doing your nose to toes, you can focus your drishti. Drishti is important. So I don't want Jessica to give me a side eye and say, when are you going to stop letting me be in this pose? So are you okay with me adjusting you really quick? Okay, so you're going to bring your nose to your toes. There we go. She's focusing on pressing her head past her arms. And when she's doing this, she can focus her drishti so that she can stay in this pose and feel as though she's not getting too weak. We're in our heads. So come back down to tabletop really quick, Jessica, as I explain to everyone what drishti is. Drishti is your forward gaze, and it's a great tag team partner from your inhales and your exhales. When you're using your drishti and your forward gaze, we can do things like this. So really quickly, I'm going to go into what is called tree pose. When I come into tree pose, let's say that I'm looking at Jessica. Oh, I'm really wobbly, I'm paying attention to her. She's moving her head and everything. I can't really stay focused. So I'm going to look over at this couch right here, bring my leg up, focus there. My hands are at heart center, and I'm centered as well. There's my gaze. Nothing's moving. I'm focused. I'm also determined. This pose is mine. And there we go. Again, drishti can be used for many areas of life, not just when it comes to your yoga practice. Take drishti everywhere with you. Sounds like I'm saying it's like a animal that you can take somewhere or something like that. Drishti is awesome. Drishti is awesome. Okay, so we're in our down dog. Now you're in tabletop from down dog. So Jessica, I ask that you please rise into your high plank now. Nice. Okay, so what I want to show you guys from high plank is different ways that you can come into your low push-up. So Jessica, if you could step back here where I am for a minute, I'm going to show them Chaturanga Dandasana. So you can stand right there and I'll come down. There we go. We can switch places. You can go stand up against the wall for me. So Chaturanga Dandasana is your low push-up. So if you feel as though you have a lot of what I call trust in your wrists, then this is the form of Chaturanga Dandasana that you can do. With your fingers spread wide, you're going to come into a high plank. From high plank, you're going to suck your elbows into your rib cage, and you're going to slowly lower down, holding your body up. You bring yourself here. You're just relaxing, straight line. However, let's say you're not trusting your wrist too much. You don't believe that you can actually hold up your body weight. Modifiers for everything. Okay, Jessica, you can come back down now to tabletop, bringing yourself into high plank. So from high plank, Jessica's now going to drop to her knees. And from there, it's all about keeping, are you okay if I adjust you?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to keep her entire lower body, starting from her waist all the way down, completely still. Keeping those feet down as well. Everything that's going to move is from her upper body. You're going to slowly lower, bending those elbows. There we go. Ball's right there. And there we go. Slowly lifting back up. So the thing you have to remember is that you're still getting a great workout. Don't think that you're cheating yourself just because you drop to your knees. It's all about the upper body at the end of the day. So you're still getting a great workout even when it's there. Beautiful. Okay, lowering down a little bit more. Nice, coming back up. And something most yoga students like, child's pose. Come on and rest in child's pose.
Spencer, can you talk a little bit about how you use yoga to work with the young adults at Chris 180?
Absolutely. It's one of the things that I love doing, and they will let you know. It's one of the things I love doing most. And, I'm so thankful to have Jessica on the team as well, is that she's opened up a lot of room for us to be able to have a lot of yoga with our students as well. So oftentimes it goes between two when it comes to the yoga and the meditation. Some of the youth will be open to one thing, some of the youth will be open to the other. Some of them have been interested in doing meditation more. However, for those that it didn't work with, I come to find that walking meditation is something that works really well with them. Again, you have to remember that when it comes to yoga, it's all encompassing of many different things. Walking meditation is something that you can do in day-to-day life. It's something as simple as if you're at your work desk, deciding I want to get up and go for a drink of water. When you get up and you go for a drink of water, you can either have something that's playing in your head, or maybe if you have some ear pods, you can have the sound of maybe a river or something of that nature playing, or maybe meditation music. Listening to that as you're walking, focus. Bring yourself kind of away from your job and everything that's going on there to a lush space that makes you feel comfortable, kind of like the safe space that I was thinking of earlier. And when you're there, try to get yourself a little bit more centered from whatever it is that was happening when you were at your desk, just for that brief moment. Oftentimes, people think that meditation has to be 5 to 10 minutes. Meditation can even be 2, 1 if necessary. Just allowing yourself to have a moment to is enough. So don't think that you have to have a full session in order to meditate. And this is what I teach my kids. I teach my kids that if you're at your job, some of them have 9-to-5s where they're working fast food. If you're able to get away from the register or maybe cooking or something like that, and just go to the bathroom for a minute. Take that time to go to the bathroom. You inhale, exhale, and just have that moment just for you. Now, when it comes to the yoga practice, what I say to my kids all the time, and I'll say this to all of you watching and listening as well, do it daily. Even if you're not thinking of it as yoga, stretching is important for day-to-day life. So something as simple as doing that before you go to work. You're somebody who works at home. It doesn't matter. Even if you're not leaving out of the house, allow yourself an opportunity to just bend. That's all I did today. This is what I did today. Stretching is important, and it gives you time just to be with you. And this is what I teach my kids often. I laugh because sometimes they're like, oh, and I'm like, it's important. It's important to remember to stretch. Thank you again for that wonderful question. Okay, did you have fun in your child's pose?
I didn't get to do it.
Oh, you didn't get to do child's pose?
Not fully.
Okay, so come into child's pose really quickly. Nice. Okay, so Jessica has her arms pulled in right now. If you could walk your hands out a little bit more for me, Jessica, you can still make child's pose an exercise even in the moments where you're resting. So she's walking her palms further out. And if you can open your legs just a little for me, Jessica. There we go. And try to push your stomach a little closer to the mat. This is a beautiful workout even when you're resting. This allows you to be able to work on your stretching here, so it feels good for your triceps, so it feels good for your shoulders. Wonderful. Also, it's helping with your lower back as well. Nice. Okay, raising back up into tabletop. There we go. Okay, now we want to check out up dog. So we go from high plank. You can rise back into high plank once more. Then you put your knees down. You lower into low push-up. Nice. I'm sorry, I said high plank. You're going to go into up dog. Up dog now. Nope, that is down. So we're going to lower all the way, putting our stomach onto the mat. And slowly bringing up our upper torso. Beautiful. Great job. Now, when you're in this pose, you want to make sure that you're relaxing your shoulders. So A lot of times we don't realize our shoulders are some of the tensest parts of our body. So we're often all the way up to our neck and we don't even realize it. We're not realizing it. So this is a great pose where you can focus on your shoulders and making sure that you are relaxed. So the beauty is that Jessica's already relaxed. There's no adjusting that has to happen here. But this is a great opportunity to pay attention to that. When you're in this pose, myself, I often keep my arms straight. However, you can also bend your elbows if you'd like, just a little. There we go. Giving yourself a little bit more relaxation if you feel as though you need it. Beautiful. Okay, so we're now going to curl our toes under once more and push back into down dog. Nice. Beautiful. Nose to toes once more. Great. Inhaling deep. And exhaling, coming back into child's pose. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys another rest pose. And this is called corpse pose. Now, a lot of people don't really like that name. So I often stick with the Sanskrit, which is Shavasana. So if you'll come to lying on your back, Jessica. Beautiful. Okay, bringing your legs all the way down, palms to your side. Nice. Okay, so this is another rest pose. More often than not, this is the pose that you're going to come into at the end of your class. However, as someone who takes hot yoga a lot, I know that sometimes child's pose isn't going to be enough. So there's a possibility you may come into Shavasana earlier in the session. Never have a problem coming into child's pose, Shavasana, any of your rest poses. And any teacher will always teach you that. Even if you're doing it solo, don't allow yourself to push further than where you need to be. Well, the most important thing that you should always remember, it doesn't matter if you're solo or if you're in a group class, is that your journey is your journey. This is all about you and your yoga practice. So never feel rushed to do anything until you're ready to. And here we are in Shavasana. And here when you're on your back, we can still continue to focus on our breath. So here we take a deep inhale and exhale out. Everybody watching, do it with us. Here we go again. We inhale deep. Exhale out. And allow it to be audible. Now, I have some students that feel a little embarrassed by doing that, even when they're by themselves. So that is my challenge to all of you who are watching today. Allow yourself in a space of maybe a group, or even if you're by yourself, to practice being audible with your exhales. This is me once again stating that the wider you open your mouth, the more audible you are with your exhales, you will feel a difference in the relief and the stress that goes away from you. Okay, bringing yourself once again back to a seated position, turning toward me, coming into easy pose. Do we have any more questions?
Yes, we do. So, how often do you recommend doing yoga every week?
Every day. Honestly, every day. Now, if we're talking about just practicing, that's what I mean when I say every day. Now, if you're going to do full sessions, that's different. However, if you're focusing on your actual practice, I always tell my students, don't just wait until you come to a session with me, maybe once or twice a week. Focus on doing your poses, your asanas every day. So let's say that you're someone who doesn't believe that they can touch their toes. If you come into your flow and when you come down, if you notice that this is as far as you can come, then say to yourself, after class is over, I'm going to give myself maybe once or twice a day where I'm focusing on touching my toes. Maybe I'll do it before I go to work and after I come back from work. So let that be what you're doing in your own personal practice. Then you can do the same thing if you're taking classes. I would say maybe once or twice a week. If you're doing hot yoga, there's some people who like to go further than once or twice, but I believe that once or twice a week is good for you to be able to have your yoga classes. I've had some friends who like to go 5 times a week to hot yoga, and I'm like, okay, calm down, just breathe, just breathe, everything's gonna be okay. Okay, so we're gonna close out with some more meditation. So we come down into our easy pose, spine long. And also, and this is something you can Google as well, your mudras. So I'm going to connect my mudras. And here, we're going to, with our spine long, close our eyes and focus on our inhales and exhales. We inhale deep. And exhale out. Now, when we think of loving kindness meditation, we're going to focus on pouring love into ourselves and then also sending love out to others. So what I'm going to ask Jessica to do now, and for any of you that are actually doing this process with us, to think of something that you would like to celebrate about yourself in this very moment. What would you like to celebrate? You're going to use that as your inhale to give love and light to you. Then I would like for you to think of someone or someones that you would like to send love and light out to. Every time you exhale, you're going to send love and light out to them. So really quickly, you ready? Okay, I'm going to do 3 quick rounds. So, eyes closed. Inhale deep. Self-love. Self-healing. Exhale, share the love. Beautiful. Okay, again, we inhale deep. Self-love and healing. Exhale, share. And one last time, we inhale deep. Exhale, release. Beautiful job. Eyes open. Thank you so much, Jessica.
We've got another question from someone who wants to know, how can they meditate if they find it hard and easily to be distracted?
Okay. So for those who are easily distracted, this is where I say focus on visualization. As I stated earlier, it's one of my favorite things to teach when it comes to meditation. Allowing yourself to escape from where you are now. In all of my classes, I ask everyone with their eyes closed to imagine a safe space. Or for those who feel as though, because every now and then I get students who it's like, it's too difficult, my imagination doesn't really work that way, I ask them to create a void. Allow yourself to go into complete darkness. And then we change what the definition of darkness looks like, because often when we say darkness, we think of cold, scared, things of that nature. But we can even warm up dark spaces. This is just an opportunity to kind of chill on the imagination and just bring yourself into a space that's completely blank, just for you to be able to chill and relax. You bring yourself there, and then in that void, what I call it, the dark space, in that void, you allow yourself to fill it with whatever it is you need to feel as though you can be more centered. Use your imagination to be able to take yourself out of wherever you are into spaces that help you to center yourself a little bit more. Once again, this is something where even if you're saying to yourself, I'm a parent with kids and it's difficult for me to get away from them, when it's time for you to go to the bathroom, if you're going to take a shower, in these moments where you get to be just by yourself, take that time to be able to center and use your imagination with whatever is around you to do so. Oftentimes, I'll tell my students, if we're somewhere like maybe on the stone mountain where I'm teaching or something like that, and there are people walking by, animals, things of that nature, pull those sounds into your story. Don't allow it to bring you out of it. So if you are imagining that you're in a house that you grew up in, and this is where you're doing your healing work, if you hear a dog walk by outside, bring the dog into the story. Make them a part of the journey. This way the healing continues and you're not pulled away. I hope that helps.
Well, thank you so much to Spencer and his trusty assistant, Jessica, for joining us today. I feel grateful, as you said earlier, for both of you. So namaste for me to all of you. If you enjoyed today's session, send us a photo. Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to see how you put away your stress for 30 minutes here on a Friday at lunch. Our goal at Chris 180 is to help to continue to build strong, healthy families, children, adults, and communities. And we hope that today you walk away feeling inspired and a little bit more relaxed. If you're interested in Spencer's classes, you can follow him on social media at...
That is WeAreTLM. WeAreTLM. The Love Movement is the name of my wellness brand, and I would love for you to flow with us no matter where you are in the world.
We truly do have some of the most talented professionals here at Chris 180, and we're thankful each of you joined us. We wish you a happy, restful, and safe weekend, and we'll see you back again next month.